When you are modeling objects or props for your environments, you need some kind of a starting point of specific dimensions in order to get the right size, scale, and proportion of the object. And sometimes it's hard to find those dimensions online. But here's a quick tip for you that will help to find those specific dimensions a lot faster. On Amazon, if you search for most of the objects that you would be modeling, you will find listed dimensions about that prop, about that object. So for example, here's the filing cabinet, and you will find product dimensions for this filing cabinet. It gives you inches, and what you can do is you can just grab these inches, just convert them to centimeters, something you can use inside your 3D modeling package, inside Maya, inside 3ds Max, Blender, whatever. So if you take these inches and you can just go and search for inch to centimeter conversion, start typing the numbers, and it will give you something to start with. Here's, for example, an industrial prop. And then here, if you can't find it in the description, just go down. Sometimes they'll list them further down the page. Or sometimes that people even ask questions about the dimensions and other people post it. So just search for dimensions. And here's an answer. See more. And they tell you that it's 24 inches in depth and 35 in height. So then after you converted these values to centimeters, back inside your 3D modeling package, in my case, this is Maya, and I already have this filing cabinet. Let me move it off to the side. You just use those values to start with. Now, I never actually take those values for granted and use them as they are. I always adjust them, but they give me a great starting point. So for example, for this filing cabinet, I'm going to go to modeling, tool shelf. Let's create my simple cube, and I already converted those inches into centimeters. And I'll just go into the input tab, and width is 38. Depth is 63 and height is 132. Let me go ahead and raise this up, put it on the ground plane, and this would be a great point for starting your object. I usually tweak these values. I don't actually use them as they are. Like I said, I usually just round them up. A lot of times you'll find that if you use exact values that you find from real world objects and translate them into a game, they tend to be smaller and feel smaller than they actually should be. So I usually tweak them and make them a little larger so they're a little bulkier and have a bit more volume. So for this, I usually adjust values until I get something better that kind of matches what I'm going for. So in this case, I've increased the values for this slightly bigger, and I have a scale reference inside the scene, a 6 foot tall person, and I always compare it and judge it up against anything that I create. So use Amazon to find product dimensions for your props, for your environments to start with.